So before we start, here is the information for the next Riverside Hot Wheels show. I got a bunch of requests from folks that they would like to know when this is. And if you're not on their mailing list, it's kind of tricky to know when the next one is. So I'm going to share the information with you and do my best to help my local show. It's going to be March 8th, 2015. 9 a.m. to 1:30 is what they listed as, but quite honestly, they're usually packing up around 12 o'clock there. So if you're going to go, I would go early. If you're looking for the late last minute deals, it's around 12 o'clock. Here's the rest of the information. It's at the Elks Lodge in Riverside, and it's a pretty big space. They'll probably have, I think they mentioned 40 tables set up, and that's usually about, I don't know, 25, 30 vendors. I think it's the best show we've got here in the area, in the Riverside area. But lots of deals to be had. There's usually different vendors each time. And kids under 12 are free. It's $2 at the door to get in. And they do have stuff to eat there if that's what you really want. So, yeah, there you go. So, if you're interested, I said I would promote it. Hello everybody, it's Ali Diecast, and we're going to be taking a look at the KDay exclusive Hot Wheel vehicles today, and a few of the vehicles that came with the KDay cases that I saw. So this was KDay of February 14th, 2015, and my KDay was pretty crowded. We had about 40 people, and there were 20 cases. So the way that they ran it is that it's a raffle, and they go through the first 20 cases, and then they just keep going until everybody's number is called, and once all the cases are open, then you get to go through a case that's already been open, which the collectors tend to not really like. I don't really care either way, to tell you the truth, but my son loves it because it's guaranteed that all the kids get to open cases, so, or not open cases, but go through cases. And he was not at all interested in any of the cars that everybody else wanted. So by the time he got to go through a case that had already been gone through, everything he still wanted was in there. In fact, Andrew ended up going kind of last. I think me and him were dead last. And so we went through cases that already had been gone through. But he loved it. And we had a good time. KDay's kind of gotten to be a little too crowded where I'm at. It's just there aren't enough K Marts to go around out here. So sometimes we go, sometimes not. This time we did, and we're going to take a look at those color exclusives that were out. This was the first one. It's the Datsun 620, this time in yellow. And yeah, you can see it's a nice car. We'll open these up in a second and take a look at them once we see all of them. The green Monte Carlo is this one. Really like the green on this. It's kind of got a like a gold flake finish to it. Shows up really nice on film, but that's the 86 Monte Carlo. There was the Chevelle, so 69 Chevelle. Oops. There you go. So we actually picked up quite a few of these for a job that we're going to be doing soon. But was glad to see a lot of these. I think this was the Chevelle. There was the most of the color exclusives, and the least of the color exclusives was this one, and that is the Shelby GR1 Concept in white. And what I'll do is go through real quickly, show you some of the highlights, or at least the ones I thought were good. I know you guys have seen the videos on other channels, so I'm not going to show you everything I got. But the Mazda RX-7, there were very few of these at my KDay in the cases. I think all in all there was only about 4 of these that were found, which made them rarer than the treasure hunts, strangely enough. There is the Volkswagen Caddy. This was another one that there was not very many of these. By the way, I did not pick up the treasure hunt. It was the Oh, I just went blank. It's the green and orange car with the fold-out wings. I forgot the name. I'll post it below. But I really wasn't too interested in it. We'll pick it up when we see it. But by the time we were picking, they had all been picked over. Let's see. This one I really liked. It honestly was not a favorite because by the time we left kind of last because I always am interested to see which cars are left on the tables. There was a lot of these left behind. The Corvettes, for whatever reason, I'm not sure they're selling as well as you might think. There is the Lamborghini. This one went fast. There was a lot of these, but people were buying quite a few of them. This one is new. For 2015, it's the Huracan LP 610-4. Nice car. It's a nice looking car. There was, whoops, wrong one. There was the Nissan, this one, which was the 370Z. Quite a few of these were left behind as well. Kind of surprising. So those were kind of my highlights. I'm going to go ahead and show you the cars that Andrew picked out, partially because he wanted me to, but also so you can see that KDay means something very different to an 8-year-old than it means to a collector. And as I was standing there, remember we went last, so I got to watch a lot of people, their reactions for about an hour as they called off these numbers. A lot of the collectors were getting a little upset because they really wanted to look through the boxes. And so by the time we were starting to double back and people were looking through boxes that had already been looked through, and you got to kind of wait around if you want to have your pick of all the cars that were left, the older folks, the diehard collectors, I'm assuming, don't really tend to like that format. The kids loved it. And so I guess that brings up whether KDay is really for kids or collectors. So I think they call it a collector event, so I guess you guys can figure that out. But I like when they do that because Andrew then is guaranteed a box. Andrew did pick out the Batmobile. That is the Batman Batmobile, this time in kind of a chrome finish. And I won't open that one up because that one's Andrew's. We only got one. I don't know if he wants to open it or not. Andrew was kind enough to let me go through his cars out here. This one he really wanted, and I know it's been out. I just had not bought it for him. And so he picked that. That was one of the 5 cars that he picked. He picked... which one was it here? There you go. He picked this one, which I knew he wanted. That was one he had his eye on. Keep in mind, when you're 8 years old and people are going through the boxes over and over and over, you're really scared that everyone is going to grab all the speed dozers. I kept telling him I was positive there would be plenty of speed dozers to go around, and he was having none of it. He was very worried that these were going to be there. So when he got up to pick his cars and the timer goes off, he just grabbed a speed dozer, and he's like, yes! There, I found one! Yeah, we all know that most people probably weren't looking for speed dozers. This one was actually in my box. I flicked it across the table to him. We were picking at the same time. So he got a Homer. You know, kind of weird that they didn't really change anything in the Homer this time, at least as far as I know, but there you go. And the last car he got, this was the car, before I show you, this was the car that my 8-year-old wanted to go to KDay to get. This was the car he was scared to death. Everybody was picking all of them. He wasn't going to get one. It's not a treasure hunt. The Super, he knew what that was. He would grab a Super if it was there. But it was this one. And that's your insight to a 5-year-old. So if you're wondering why Hot Wheels still does the fantasy cars, go to a collector event with an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old, and you're going to find out that their likes may not be very much the same as Dad's. So that is the one that Andrew wanted. He really wanted that Night Dragon in purple. Not in the other colors, but in purple. By the way, there was no Supers at all at my KDay. No one found one. And the treasure hunts were only in about one of every other box, as it turns out. I'll pick up a treasure hunt at the next show we go to and share that with you. But all in all, a fun K-Day for a case that had so many cars I thought were neat. Some of them just were either missing or in very short supply. So, but that's going to wrap it up for this show. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. And as promised, here are the 4 color exclusives for K-Day February 14th, 2015. And we took them out so you can take a look at them. Some interesting stuff here. This yellow truck has some really nice detailing. I know that's on the regular color too, but we'll take a look at it here. You know, the raised Datsun on the back. Hot Wheels logo there. Can barely see it, but it's there. Datsun, they've got the blinkers on the side. The Chevelle, the blue Chevelle's got a real nice, whoops, yeah, right, 396 on the front. Very cool. In blue, last we saw this, it was with white with blue stripes, the opposite. You could see some real nice branding there. I think it's the same on both sides, yeah. Here is the Mustang Shelby, what was it? It is the Mustang Shelby GR1 concept. And we'll take a look. That is all decaled there, the grill work. I like this casting. To tell you the truth, I'm not crazy about this coloring, but I do, that casting is one I like. The Chevelle is one of my favorites. And here is the Monte Carlo. It's got it's hard to see, but there's some yellow striping on it that really looks pretty nice. It's on the hood too. You can see it there when the light catches it. And it's got a really nice paint job. I like the green and the black. So there you go, a little bit close up of those color exclusives. So I hope everybody had a good K-Day. It's a fun event. If you don't know what that is, look it up online. And I have no idea when the next K-Day is, but they usually have 3 of these a year. And you know, you go and you get to open a box of cars. And if you bring your kids, it's a pretty fun event for kids. A lot of you have K Marts in kind of out of the way areas, so there might not be very many people at your K Mart. You might be surprised. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.